Hi, I'm Analytical, the sickeningly entertaining and educational coding drag queen, and today we're going to be doing a coding interview question from LeetCode.com. This is going to be a one take. I just picked one at random, not that much random because I picked an easy one that had a high acceptance rate because I, like you, am nervous about coding questions, but the best way to get better at them is to do them often, frequently. That's the same thing. Just do a lot of them, practice. Come hang out on my live stream where I'm going to do a bunch of them. And let's go take a look at this LeetCode question. It is called number of good pairs. Given an array of integers nums, return the number of good pairs. Is she a good pair or a bad pair? Oh my god, it's like, this is timed. I've got a timed interview question. Okay. Close this giveaway. They're not sponsoring me, so they're not getting any giveaway clicks. A pair I, comma j is called good if nums I and j, if I equals j and I is j. Okay, so if they're the same number. Okay, so it's a good pair if they're the same. Okay. It's good to look through the examples. In our first one, we've got nums is this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 3. So our pairs, we've got 3 ones. So we're gonna have 0, 3, 0, 4, and then the 3s are the same. So 3, 4, and then what's 2, 5? What's 2, 5? 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. That's the 2s. Sorry. And then 0. What's 0 indexed? 0 index. Oh, it's saying that the array is 0 index. That makes sense because we are what? Programming. We're also not doing this in C++. So sorry, this is going to be happening in JavaScript, which is how I like to do most of my coding interviews, but we should do a general coding interview Q&A at some point. Nums output is 6. Oh, so okay. This is also good. Sometimes in a lot of coding interviews, they don't really care like what you're returning. They just want you to return the number. So here we're just returning the number of pairs and calculating all the pairs. So nums length is less than 100, la la la. So my approach for lots of interviews is to you just want to start talking and start figuring out what's going on. So I'm just going to type out some stuff. So, oh my god, I am so out of practice, but that's okay. I would think like a good way to start is just you have to look at every single pair. So maybe we just generate a list of all of the pairs, and then we can see which ones are good, right? Because like there's not really a better way to like, we're 100% going to need to look at all of the pairs. I'm trying to think about, well, how does it make sense? Because it's like if they're pairs, la la la. But I guess maybe I'm thinking this is what you do in a programming interview. Just think out loud. I'm thinking out loud, perhaps if we were to sort this array somehow, then we might be able to see like, oh, like we only need to compare certain pairs because they're like the same numbers or something. So like if we're looking at every single pair, that's going to bring us to order of n squared. N squared. And then, but perhaps if we're doing like perhaps if we're able to sort, we're going to have order log n. Order n log n because we'd have to sort and then look through everything. I'm just going to do this n squared solution because that's not terrible to start out. And we can just start getting something programmed. And then I can kind of think like, maybe there's something better and we'll already have something going. So I'm going to make a variable called pairs, let pairs, and let's just have this be, a map. I don't know if I'm going to need that, but we'll just do let I equals 0, I is less than nums.length, I plus plus. And then we're going to need another loop in here for let j equals, and this is a good thing that I can do already. Just a quick optimization is instead of going from 0, because we know we don't want to compare it's a number to itself, we want to start j at I, or at, do we start at I? We start at I plus 1. I plus 1. And j is less than nums.length, j plus plus. This way, so in this example, in this example 3, which is great because it's short, we'll compare 1 and 2, because I will be 0, j will be 1, 1 and 2, then 1 and 3, then 2 and 3, and then we're good. So And I probably don't even need to keep track of pairs as this. Let's just keep pairs. Let pair count equal 0. Pairs. If, and then let's see. So if nums of I equals nums of j, then pair count plus plus. Is that it? Is that all I need to do? And then I would return pair count. Semicolon for good luck. Let's run the code. We're running the code. This is a good moment of truth. Okay, it's accepted with 99 milliseconds. Let's see if we can run example test cases. I don't know if what this will do. It'll run all of them or how many it will do. Okay, so it ran correctly on all of them, which is great. Iconic. This is an easy one, so it might not have too much to it. This is actually great. Like, let's say you're in intro programming. This is definitely a good way to like start out. This isn't doing any like super complicated algorithms. Now, what I don't know is there like a super fast and optimized way to do this? Let's kind of think about that. We can talk through this, kind of thinking about, is there a way, if we were to sort this list, could we do any better? I think we could. I think if we were to sort the list and then we keep count of like how many of each one there are. So like, let's say we have a function for like, function var like, so basically for this use case, we see there are 4 that have the same number, right? Oh my God, I think I can do this even faster. I think I can do this in order log n. Oh my God. I haven't been doing interview questions for a while and like, this is great. And this might not even be the solution. We might just end where we were before and that might be the solution, but it's always good to kind of keep trying and thinking about like, what else can I do? So var, and so this is gonna be a function that will count, let's say I have 4 numbers that are exactly the same in my array, then how many, not how many, then it's like, how many pairs can I make from that? So how many pairs equals function. And again, I haven't done JavaScript in too long, so like my my counts are going to be all like a little weird at this point. Sorry if the screen just went yellow, Flux is going on, probably didn't. A pair count is count, oh my God, count and then return. So what is this formula? So it's 3, so it's 3 plus, so it's 3 plus 2 plus 1. Okay. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to figure out, there's probably like a formula for that. You wouldn't be able to look that up, but you'd kind of have to like figure it out. We could just say like, let num pairs equal, I'm just gonna, is there a math I could do? There's probably some kind of nice formula for this. But I don't know what it is. So we're gonna calculate it using a loop for now, and maybe we can think about the math. Let num pairs equal 0, for let I equals 0, I is less than count I plus plus. So basically we're gonna do num pairs plus equals I. So let's say my count is 4. This will be 1 plus 2 plus 3. Great. And then return, what are we returning? What are we returning? This is like a combination thing, right? It's like you do like the factorials and all that stuff, I think. But that's probably not worth it to think about right now because that's complicated. So I'm just gonna comment this out, this working code out, because I think it's always good to just like keep track of your working code, because like sometimes you might have a coding interview where you're doing a typing like this and like you need to just submit it, you're not talking to anybody. And if you're not talking to anybody, that's also why you don't have to talk out loud like I'm doing now. But if you're not, it's just good to say that so you can always submit something just in case. So we're gonna do let counts equals, and we'll do an array. You could do a list for this or like a map for this, but we know there are only 100 numbers in this, so we can just do it as an array. Then I will actually just take my for loop for this because I don't want to have to write out for loop commands because I don't like to do that. Let's fill this array with 0. You can do this in like a JavaScript way, I think. Counts dot, I think I can just do this. New array 100. Counts dot map. Let's make it 101. I think it needs to be 101. Counts, no. Counts dot map c to 0. I think that's gonna do it, but we'll see. Let's just console log it out. It's really amazing when you're able to console log stuff out in your interview, but you will not always have that opportunity. I also don't return anything, so yeah, it's like, of course it's not gonna work. But 101 empty items, I guess that might be fine. There's definitely a way to do this that's not this. I'm not going to worry about it for now, and we're just going to do it in like a stupid way. Or no, we can just we'll just set it as we go through. That's fine. Okay, so if counts. Okay, so let's get our cur number. So let cur equals nums I. So the count at the current location, so if there's nothing there, count at cur equals 0. Otherwise, or just for every case, we'll do count cur count plus plus. Great. Now I've got that. And then I'm going to need this pair count again. We can reuse that variable, which is always wonderful. We will go through we're going to go through our list. I don't know if I explained this correctly or I was explaining this as I was going through it, but it's just to kind of give you an example as I'm going through it. And honestly, I don't even know if this is going to work or be any faster. So now I'm going to go through all of these counts, and I have got my formula down. I got my function formula down below. So pair count plus equals how many pairs at counts I, and then I return pair count. Did this make any sense? Okay, wait, I don't need to save. Before I run this, we're just going to talk through it because you might not always be able to get to run it. So I've created a function that basically says if I have 4 1, I guess in here it's a better example. Here I've got 3 1s, 1 2, and 2 3s. So because I have 3 1s, it doesn't really matter where they are because I don't need their indices. I know that 3 of the same number will get me 1 plus 2, that gets me 3 pairs. So those 3 pairs are this, which is great. 3, and then because for 2, I've got these 2 3s that I'm highlighting here, which are at index 2 and 5. That gets me 1 pair. So I would just add those up. So basically, instead of going through and finding all of these pairs, I thought, I don't really need to know where the pairs are or anything like that. I can just count how many of each item are there. So I did that in this for loop. And that's only going to run through my list once. If you don't know too much about like algorithm notation or like how long things take like this, don't worry, that's something good to like look up and learn. I think MIT teaches that a little bit. I think in CS50 they teach it a little bit too, Harvard's course, which is great and free. I would go check that out. You want to make your program not run very slowly. So here we're only looping through the list once instead of having to do this double loop, which would be like looping through it twice, which could get really bad if you've got a really big list. So you loop through it once here, get all the counts, then we loop through that list of counts, and we know that list isn't going to be too big because the numbers go from 1 to 100. That's what this means, by the way. I just skimmed right over this, but it's kind of important. The constraints are always really important, and this is good to ask in an interview. So here, the length of my array is only going to be from 1 to 100, so that's really not too big. Maybe that's not too big. That's just like good to know about. And then the numbers only go from 1 to 100. So like I can very easily just iterate through this list and not have to worry about it too much. But those numbers could be a million, and that could really affect the way you solve the problem. So okay, so I've got the counts of all the numbers. And then now I have this formula to do that, to figure out how many pairs are good from that count. And then we add them all up and see how it goes. Let's run the code. I'm nervous this isn't gonna work. Watch it be slower. If count is not defined. Okay, that's good. Counts. Good to use the syntax highlighting to see where your errors are. You probably wouldn't get like points off for that in an interview though, especially if you're doing this on a whiteboard. Okay, well this, it's funny, it's like this did worse, but that's okay, that's okay. I wanna just run how many pairs on a few things. Console.log, how many pairs? I just wanna make sure that this is working. 3, 0, that's 1, I don't know. We're just gonna see what this gives us. And you might not be able to do this in an interview. Okay, so 3 gives me 3, which is correct because it's 1 plus 2, and let's just do 4 just to make sure. La la la. 3, 6. Okay, my how many pairs function working correctly because I'm smart. You always gotta trigger yourself on, and then let's just figure out like what's going on with any of this. Oh, I see what's happening. I'm not doing counts.length. I'm not iterating over this final array. Oh my god. Oh, ooh, if you see that beautiful art back there, I generated that using P5JS, and I did that on a live stream, which is very fun to check out. I think this might work now. Fingers crossed. Hee hee hee. I hate that it's taking so long. Oh my god, it accepted. And the runtime was shorter than it was. Last time we had 99 milliseconds when it was correct. And this time we have 68. So that's great. Let's run the example test cases. La 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 la. Okay, these work too. We're gonna submit this. I don't think I can do any faster. There's not really, you have to look at all the numbers at least once. Oh my god, please work. Yes! My runtime is 68 milliseconds, faster than 90.5% of the JavaScript submissions, and I don't use that much memory, less than them. I am a legend. You always gotta cheer yourself on after doing these because these take a lot of work. They are exhausting, they are annoying, they are a pain, but they help us get the jobs that we want. And let's say that you were not able to successfully solve this problem. Go to the discuss page. I think there are a lot of really helpful solutions here. Go search in your programming language. So I can just click JavaScript, the tag there. And I would see like how people are doing this and see what's going on. And also like maybe they don't have it for JavaScript, maybe go look at Java. It's also good to like be comfortable for a few, maybe like 1 or 2 programming languages. I always like to use JavaScript, but sometimes I'll end up using Java if I need to certain classes or things like that I think Java might have easily. So let's just take a look at what this simple solution is. Oh yeah, this is so confusing. It's like they really did it great. How did they do this? They did number identical pairs for num's length, la la la. Okay, so this is doing that slower solution, which is okay, totally fine. We don't have to review this. And let's see if there's like optimized JS solutions using 2-pointer. Okay, so this is doing this is another good way. This is like another good technique. There are a lot of techniques in these that are always good to like think about, oh, I could have done it in this way. So here they're iterating through the list once, but they like kind of keep the list moving. They move their pointers left and right as they go through. That way they don't have to like do as much stuff, I guess. I don't know exactly. What are they doing? If nums equals right, count plus plus. This basically goes through all of them. Sure, it's a lovely way to solve it. Someone does it by recursion, someone uses a hash table, someone uses the combination formula in recursion, someone uses a hash map. Let's see what this one is. Where did that go? Let's click it. Okay, so this is basically, they're kind of doing something similar where they make the map. So they're using a map instead of the array. I think I just ended up using the array because it was a little easier. So if map has the number sum plus 2 plus, they're kind of just adding it up like that. So I kind of added an extra formula in there, but that just helped me think about it, which is totally okay. It's like coding interviews are just showing that you know how to solve problems. So you got a suite of tools to solve problems with. And that's what we did. We found 2 ways to solve this problem, which I think is a great way to do it. We have one that was brute force, which is always how you like to start, how I like to start out, and I think is what's recommended. And then we found a more optimized solution by thinking about what is actually needed to solve the problem. And that's how we work ourselves up to getting a job in tech with programming. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please stay tuned. If you liked it, subscribe, follow, ring the bell, all of that stuff. Have a good day and good luck on your coding journeys and your journeys for getting yourself jobs. Bye.